Listen, there's something inside of you. It's in your brain. It's not real. It's not a physical thing that's punching you in the face. It's not any of these things, but there's something inside of you. If you don't destroy this thing while it's in action, you will never be good at music. You will never be creative like you want to be. You will never make the emotional songs that you want to make that will touch people. And you will never get the success that you fucking want out of your music. Now listen, I know what you want, bro. Because I wanted it too at one point. I wanted to make good music that actually touched people on an emotional level. I wanted streams on my music so I could make money. This is what I wanted. A lot of us do want that. However, if you don't solve the thing inside of you that's hindering you, you will never get that. Thankfully, I figured out what this thing is, because you probably aren't even aware of what it is, and I figured out why it's in your brain, and I figured out how to fucking destroy it. Now, I can assure you, no other YouTubers are going to talk about this shit. If you don't know who I am, I'm Sunlight. I essentially just share with you mindset things that help with your music, so if you're interested in that, just go down and subscribe. Now, what is this thing that I'm talking about? I'm going to tell you. First, you need to understand how your brain kind of works. So the main driver of creativity and ideas coming to you, it doesn't have anything to do with you being creative or in a creative mood. That's not really a thing. Sure, you can be more creative some days than others. However, you can tap into creativity. It's not this abstract thing that's just not like always possible to tap into. No, you can be creative every single day. It's bullshit for anyone who says that you can't be. But the problem is, for most people, is that we have a lot of fucking people with ADHD who can't fucking sit and be with boredom. And the main driver of creativity is boredom. However, boredom is painful. Like, if you were to sit and I told you to stare at your wall for 30 minutes, odds are what would happen is you wouldn't be able to do it, because your brain is going to convince you that you need to go do something else, right? You know that would happen. If you click off this video, go stare at your wall, you're not going to do it, bro. You know you're not going to. You're just going to be like, well, this is fucking pointless. Why am I doing this? I'm wasting my time. Just go watch more YouTube videos. Go scroll on TikTok, go on Instagram, go do something, right? So what does this tell us? This tells us that the main driver of creativity, aka boredom, is painful. Now, what happens when you're actually in pain? Well, your brain wants to escape pain. And this is where the one thing that I'm telling you about comes in. And that one thing is resistance. So like I've said multiple times now, resistance is not a real thing. It's not a physical being that's watching over you, slapping you in the face, telling you to do something. No, it's inside of you. It's a feeling, and it's a very unpleasant feeling. Although it is not a physical thing, you can feel it. And if you are able to be mindful of resistance and understand the forms of resistance that I'm going to share with you, and you face the resistance head on, you will actually see your life improve like you never thought it would have. So resistance is essentially just something that manifests in every single aspect of your life, where you are going in a direction that your brain doesn't want you to go in, because it's a long-term goal versus a short-term goal. A short-term goal would be like going on YouTube and watching more videos after. A long-term goal would be staring at your wall and thinking of lyrics and improving. Another long-term goal would be sitting and watching some videos on how to use a compressor. I don't fucking know what you need for your music, but learning something or doing something that's a long-term goal that's beneficial for you to long-term. Because these things are painful, you're going to experience resistance, and the way that resistance manifests itself is by essentially just attacking you with all that it fucking can. And it will quite literally drag you down as far as it fucking can to get you to stop doing what you need to actually get to where you want to be. So just an example of resistance, and this one is very common. I deal with this one all the time. It's procrastination. So you're going to feel this a lot when you go and try and make music. What's going to happen is you are going to get at the notepad, and you're going to not feel any sort of things going on in your brain. You're going to feel just blank, and it's going to feel blah, like you don't want to fucking do anything. And your brain is instantly going to say, well, maybe we should do it tomorrow. That's resistance showing itself. Now, this is the scary part. This is the hard part about resistance, is that it's gonna try and convince you that it's true. Like, hey, bro, we should just wait till tomorrow, bro. Like, you're not getting anywhere. You're not writing any lyrics. So what's the point of sitting here? Let's just go do something else. That's resistance. So now, why the fuck does this even matter? Like, why does resistance matter? Why don't we just listen to resistance? Well, resistance knows exactly where you need to go in your life to actually make the progress that you want to get to your goal. You see, we have like a fucked up brain for whatever reason, where it doesn't actually want the change that we say we want. So it's a really weird concept to understand, but I promise you, I've done a lot of research on this shit. I know a lot about the the mind for, I don't know why I know a lot about the mind. I'm kind of a fucking nerd, but I've read a lot of books on this stuff, and I understand that our brains just really don't want to go in the direction that we want them to go in consciously. Instead, they want to decide for us to just stay where we are in the current moment. So what the fuck does this mean for us? Well, the practical thing that you should do is, that means be with the resistance. So we understand that to be more creative and to be better at music and to do all these things, you have to be bored. That's how you drive your creativity through the roof. But when you are bored, it creates pain, and with pain comes resistance. So they're kind of the same thing, but resistance is actually the thoughts that you have that try and convince you that you need to just listen to it. Another form of resistance might be just judgment of whatever it is. So you try and write some lyrics and they sound like shit. It's going to convince you that they just sound like shit, so you should just stop doing it and go do something else. That's another form of resistance. So as you can see, resistance will attack you, and it will attack you, and it will attack you, and it will do anything it fucking can to just try and get you to stop going towards your goal. We need to sit with the resistance. We need to realize that the resistance is happening. We need to listen to it, and we need to tell it to fuck off. You need to do this with everything in your life, but specifically for music and creativity, you want to tell it to fuck off. Now, the thing about being a music artist is that it's pretty miserable. I'm not gonna lie to you. Regardless of what people want to say, maybe some people will disagree and say that you just need to wait till it flows to you and you need to just enjoy the process of whatever it is. Maybe that's true. But the parts where you're actually gonna make the most amount of growth just as a person in general is when you sit with your brain in these very painful moments of resistance where it's doing everything it fucking can to convince you that you just need to give up. Those are the points where you make the most amount of growth. And when you're closest to the actual finish line of where you want to get, when you're closest to the point of actually breaking through, that's when the resistance is the worst. I don't know if this message is going to resonate with anyone. If it does, go DM me on Instagram and tell me that it resonated with you, because I'm just kind of like trying out different videos. I mean, I'm learning about this shit, and I don't really know if anyone cares or thinks that it's like good knowledge to learn, but I just kind of am passionate about it, and I like sharing the mindsets that I'm learning. So yeah, that's why I did this. If you want more mindsets like this, I quite literally have a community online where I teach all of the things that I've learned. So like, I read books on books on books on books on mindset shit, and I've also have like a 6-year past of making music, so I know like all the things that you need to be good at music. If you want to join that community, you can go first link in the description and just watch the video on that page. You don't even have to join the community. You can just go watch the video and it'll show you what's all inside of the community. Then you can decide if you want to join. But yeah, just first link in the description. Go check that out. If this video helped you, subscribe, DM me on Instagram, and let me know that it helped you. And I don't know, bro. I'm feeling a little gay today. I'm not going to lie. Thanks for watching. Mwah.